They are still seeking a suspect. They believe the suspect used Molotov cocktails to set the cars on fire, may have also fired some rounds. So the vandalism against Elon Musk, really, because that's who this is directed to, continues, Sandra.
All right, so we'll keep watching that, and any more news that comes from that news conference, we'll bring that to you.
Continuing this week, Democrat protesters are doubling down with political violence. Elon Musk continually gets targeted by extreme left-wing activists. Protests continue to erupt all over the country at Tesla dealerships. New video coming in right now of Tesla cars on fire in Las Vegas. Watch.
They are still seeking a suspect. They believe the suspect used Molotov cocktails to set the cars on fire, may have also fired some rounds. So the vandalism against Elon Musk, really, because that's who this is directed to, continues, Sandra.
All right, so we'll keep watching that, and any more news that comes from that news conference, we'll bring that to you as it happens. All right.
All right. Now that's happening at the time of recording this video. I'll try to keep you updated, but let's look back at last week and see why this is happening.
Roughly 40 protesters gathered here at the Southwest Cascade Avenue Tigard Tesla dealership for a protest. They're calling it the Rally to Restore Democracy. They were protesting against President Donald Trump, Elon Musk, the Doge cuts, and also the tariffs at the border. This protest is only hours after police report that this Tesla dealership was hit by multiple gunshot rounds overnight. Investigators believe at least 7 shots were fired, damaging 3 cars and shattering windows. 1 bullet went through an office wall and into a computer monitor. This incident comes after a string of vandalism attempts for Teslas and Tesla dealerships across the nation.
Primetime's also obtained new photos of the man who firebombed the Tesla dealership in Salem, Oregon, causing $500,000 worth of damage. Surveillance photos show him walking towards the Tesla dealership in a black burqa before chucking Molotov cocktails at the building. Red Tesla burst into flames. There you go. Then the suspect hurled a rock at the dealership window and shattered it. That's when more random projectiles were thrown, damaging other cars in the area.
I hope that they don't buy a Tesla. I hope that if they have a Tesla, sell it and take that resale value. I hope that they sell their Tesla stock.
Sell it, sell it, sell it.
Tesla vehicles that roll by the rally are fair game for these protesters. Just behind the rally, Tesla security keeps a close eye on the 300 people in front of the dealership on Boylston.
Elon Musk has got to go!
In the past week, Tesla boycotters peacefully rallied in Dedham and Watertown, while arson investigators look for those responsible for lighting a Tesla supercharger location in Littleton. And a Boston man was arrested for vandalizing Teslas in Brookline.
These are the same climate change activists that now can't stand the guy that has sold more electric vehicles than anyone on Earth. Elon Musk was an environmental superhero a few years ago when he was leading us all into a carbon-free future. But how many greenhouse gases are they adding to the atmosphere when they burn down Cybertrucks?
Oh my gosh, a Tesla Cybertruck is on fire. All right, there's a fleet of Cybertrucks right now. Unbelievable. Seattle fire on the scene.
So you gotta get off the front.
Breaking news. I'm sorry?
Get off the front.
All right, you've got dozens of firefighters now putting out flames on the Cybertruck. Absolutely insane. Look, you still see flames right underneath the Cybertruck. As you can see, there are several other Cybertrucks just parked here. The Soto neighborhood here in Seattle, Sunday evening. Seattle fire on the scene, trying to put out the flames on a Cybertruck. It's unclear how this all started, but again, with everything that's happening in America right now, with anti-Elon Musk hate, all the protests and incidents of vandalism, it appears to be arson.
So why is this happening? Who's doing this? Who's paying for such coordinated efforts to destroy Tesla? As always, please support the channel by subscribing and hitting that like button.
So this is all a result of money that has been pouring in by 5 different Act Blue organizations, which are directly tied to the Democrat Party, by the way. They also help with funding BLM, if you remember. Elon Musk is specifically saying George Soros is behind this, Reid Hoffman is behind this. No surprise, because they're big liberal donors. So the fact that they're encouraging individuals to incite violence and actually throw bombs at Tesla stores, this is literally what's happening right now. well. As Elon Musk is trying to save our country, he does not need to be doing this. This is an act of service. Tesla stock has declined as a result of it. Even in Europe, we're seeing declines in cars being purchased.
Now, she mentions the Tesla stock dropping, which I'll get to a little bit later on in this video. But first, let's take a look at this post Elon Musk put on X, naming the groups responsible for the protests.
Elon Musk responding on his social media site X, placing the blame on the Democratic organization ActBlue as responsible for the protests. He blames other organizations within ActBlue, like Seattle organization Troublemakers and the Disruption Project.
Now, one of those groups he mentions is Troublemakers, which is an activist group based out of Seattle, largely involved in climate change activism in the past. Ironically now leading the charge in organising protests against the electric car maker, Elon Musk and Tesla. Valerie Costa, who we're going to see in this next clip coming up, the lead organiser of the Tesla takedown movement. Let's hear her explain what the plan is to achieve.
So, I'm just an organizer with the Seattle-based group Troublemakers. There's a group of us here. We're working with a number of organizations and individuals who've been planning protests at Tesla showrooms in the area for the last month or so. They're peaceful, nonviolent protests. They're First Amendment protected, free speech, peaceful assembly. And we've done that and we'll continue to do that as this movement is gaining momentum. Tesla, this protest is ultimately about hitting Elon Musk's bottom line. You know, every dollar that goes into Tesla, every Tesla that's purchased increases essentially his profits. And the more money he has, it's clear the more influence he has in the government and in the world. He was able to, like I said, buy his way into the White House with his $250 million contribution to Donald Trump's campaign. And he bought Twitter, giving himself sort of a platform to spread lies. And for sure, there's been vandalism at Tesla dealerships. I've seen it on the news. I want to make it really clear that I don't, and the Tesla takedown movement, Troublemakers, none of us have ever supported violence or called for violence. We do not believe in that as a strategy of nonviolent resistance. I think the vandalism really shows the outright anger and rage that people are feeling about what Elon Musk is doing right now in our government.
So while they are protesting against Elon Musk and the Trump administration for firing federal workers, do they not realize that Elon Musk employs thousands of people across his companies? If they succeed in putting Tesla out of business, don't they care about those workers? Or any of the shareholders? Have you checked out Tesla's stock recently? What is it they disagree with? Downsizing of government? Or maybe the waste, fraud and abuse that you don't want him going after? These people seem to be okay with it.
Yes, you do have to cut some programs. I think there's waste out there. I think there are programs that can and should be cut.
Again, we all agree we have to get rid of waste, fraud, abuse, duplication, obsolescence, and the rest. The GAO has given us a blueprint for that, and we subscribe to that. We all agree that we must reduce the deficit.
There's tremendous waste in government, and I think any Democrat who ignores the lessons, the lessons of those who voted, the lessons of the last election, makes a mistake. The people did want government to cut out the waste and to shrink.
This is not a new idea. It's just the first time somebody's actually doing anything about it. And they don't like it because it's under the direction of President Trump. Now, these protests aren't the only reason that Tesla stock has tanked, but I'm sure it's a big contributing factor. So, to support Elon and send out a good message to counteract these protesters, Trump purchased a Tesla right in front of the White House.
But because he's finding all sorts of terrible things that have taken place against our country, they want to penalize him in an economic sense. And I just think that's very unfair. So I just wanted to make a statement. I'm going to buy one. Now, here's the bad news. I'm not allowed to drive because I haven't driven a car in a long time, and I love to drive cars. But I'm going to have it at the White House, and I'm going to let my staff use it. I'm going to let people at the place use it. And they all are all excited about that. I'm not allowed to use it. Can you believe it?
So, Mr. President,
one of my great things in life is that I can You know, I like to drive cars, but I'm not allowed to. And
Now, we all know this is part of Trump's showmanship on full display. But of course, it caused outrage on the left. Let's take a look at this clip on MSNBC, where they're trying to argue the point that Elon Musk got himself involved in a culture war. And that's why people are boycotting Tesla.
And look, the reason why they are shilling for Elon Musk is obviously that not nobody, but sales have tanked for Teslas, and as has the stock price for Tesla, the company. And it's no mystery why, right? There's a reason why companies have historically tried to stay away from divisive culture war issues, because they are worried about alienating a certain segment of their customers. And sometimes they get it wrong, right? You saw the boycotts of Bud Light and Target and other places when Republicans were really mad about decisions that those companies had taken. Not only does Elon Musk, not avoid the culture wars, he is a, happy culture warrior. Yes. And of course, he is helping dismantle the federal government. Like, plenty of reasons why customers would boycott them. And now Trump is trying to prop up his friend's company.
The White House pretending as though it is a backdrop or a prop, a car dealership it is more than I could possibly imagine. So there's that piece of it, and I'm going to let you talk about that. But then you also overnight have this post claiming that protests at Tesla dealerships are illegal. He said today he would label violence against dealerships domestic terrorism. Now, you know I am judicious in how I play this sound, but I think you need to hear it from him.
Mr. President talks about some of the violence that's been going on around the country at dealerships. Some say they should be labeled domestic terrorists.
I will do that. I'll do it. I'm going to stop them. We catch anybody doing it because they're harming a great American company. Let me tell you, you do it to Tesla and you do it to any company, we're going to catch you and you're going to go through hell.
If you listen to what she says, she's mischaracterizing Trump, calling these protests illegal. Well, it's not the protests that are illegal. It's the vandalism that is. So what Trump is doing is he's categorizing these specific protests as domestic terrorism because it's politically related. Just as we heard Valerie Costa say in one of the clips we played before, although she denied anybody from her movement taking any such violent action against Tesla, nobody's coming out and directly condemning the violence in any form. They're saying, in this case, it shows people's frustration with Trump and the Trump administration. So I guess they get a free pass. Let's have some common sense commentary from Scott Jennings.
But the president is clearly trying to do his friend, political donor, actually government employee, a pretty big favor here for his private business.
It's hardly the first time we've had cars on the South Lawn. Man, here's a video of Joe Biden driving a Jeep Rubicon around the South Lawn. I mean, it's pretty common.
And President Trump did it before in his first term as well.
It's pretty common for the President of the United States to boost American industries, American-made products, and companies that are, employing Americans. It's extremely common. He obviously has a close relationship with Elon, who, by the way, is, I think, unfairly under attack. And this company is unfairly under attack. You have these insane people all over the country chasing people down in their Teslas in New York City. I had a friend who tried to trade his Tesla in New York the other day, and there were protesters screaming at his children.
Look,
these people are unhinged,
there is some
and they deserve support from the government.
But let's be clear. Let's not.
And Scott's exactly right. It's support from the government to a great American business. There's no reason these terror attacks against Tesla should be taking place. Elon Musk certainly isn't doing anything that would give validation for what we see going on here. On the same panel, we see Kevin O'Leary voicing his opinion.
I didn't say he was
wrong.
No,
Elon put himself under, he's like an ant under a microscope. He's doing something that's been so needed for so long. He's just simply saying, look at what I found here. Look at what I found here. Look at the waste. Look at the fraud. Look at, and you can't execute.
I think the thing about that clip,
you don't have to do anything about it, but he's pointing it out. This guy.
Well, first of all, we should say this.
He's a hero.
He's a friggin' hero. So we should say this, yeah.
I agree. I mean, Elon Musk's function is to point out fraud, waste, and abuse within the government. He has no actual power to act on any of it. It's the Trump administration that's following through on his findings, despite what you hear in the media from any lawmaker. Speaking of which, one last example I'm going to play here is Senator Mark Kelly deciding to ditch his Tesla.
Okay, so this is going to be my last trip in this car. There were some things I really liked about it. There are things I didn't like about it, but that doesn't matter. What matters is, doing the right thing. I think it's time to get rid of it. Elon Musk kind of turned out to be an asshole, and I don't want to be driving a car built and designed by an asshole. So, looking forward to my new ride.
Now, I see the reason that Senator Kelly had a Tesla to begin with, because it's good for the environment, right? We know he takes a strong position for climate change.
Hey, when I went into space 4 times, I could see, how thin the atmosphere is over this planet. It's as thin as a contact lens on an eyeball, and we've got to do a better job taking care of it.
So, what did you get to replace your Tesla with? What brand name of electric car did you end up getting?
All right, here I am with my new ride, Chevy, good old Chevy Tahoe, here in Washington, D.C. Got one of these in Tucson as well. This one was made by Union Labor, United Auto Workers in Arlington, Texas. Always good to buy Union cars, incredibly reliable. And I'm looking forward to driving this for many, many years.
And Mark Kelly is a former astronaut. You would think, of all people, he would be supporting Elon Musk. He's the one that's rescuing the 2 NASA astronauts that the Biden administration put up into space and abandoned there, who should arrive home today. But will Mark Kelly be the first one to congratulate Elon for a successful mission? Highly doubt it. So here comes the question of the video today. Do you believe that these protests and the violence we see against Tesla dealerships are justified? Do you believe in reporting that we're hearing that they're paid for by the Democrat Party? Let me know your thoughts in the section below, and please don't forget to like and subscribe. I'll see you on the next video.